Greetings everyone, here's Lodrik and this is the Game War in the Pacific Admirals Edition, and today we will check the play by email match against KilRoy. He is the commander of the Allied forces and for me the Empire of Japan. This turn will be the 28th December 1941, so we coming to the end of the first month of the war. And so far we had I had some success with my forces in Malaya and Philippines. My subs was also more or less active and sunk some cargo ships. In this case I find a fat heavy AP with some troops on board. Nice. Unluckily only one torpedo hit without heavy damage or fire information, so maybe only little slowdown. Not the end of this ship. But KilRoy was also able to at least sometimes surprise me and sunk some of my destroyer minesweepers. Also kill 2 light cruisers and at least 2 destroyers I will miss, so it is not without a fight, that for sure. So I find here British destroyers now north of Brisbane. Luckily I cannot get a hit on them. So, and because these are British destroyers and these are the Express, and they was before with the Prince of Wales together. So I could guess now that maybe the British battleships are here north of Brisbane and still not back in port. Okay, unluckily I have here 2 hits on my rowboat. More bombardment. So the Dutch forces are still here in the area. And light damage on additional ships, but no fire. My port facility was able to keep all fires under control. All of the ships are not more really in immediately danger to sink, and a little additional damage to base and ground forces. Again, I would say light cruisers the shells of light cruiser guns are still too small for this kind of purpose. Only heavy cruisers, battleships, battle cruisers are really meaningful. If you don't, at least, maybe for airfield attack, it is still possible to do damage. So some reaction. I sent one of my cruiser formations to help and secure the area of Port Moresby. This is only some invasion support. And I detect some mines in Saipan, so KilRoy was sneaking in some kind of ship and lay some mines in Saipan. Luckily I had no contact so far. And this is now my cruiser formation, and we find here enemy AO, tanker, AO maybe. I mean, makes sense if this is AO, and a destroyer. This also maybe explains the situation. KilRoy must use his battleships and cruisers on full speed, so he was able more or less to penetrate all Navy search because he's simply too fast. And then he refuels them just outside of the port and now sends them back to Brisbane, because he can refuel the ships but not rearm with shells. But this allows him to go fast in, quick in and out. In this battle something very special will happen, so I will not speed it up. Normally I would do it because this is a one-side show. You would expect it is a one-side show, but something very strange happened here. So the AO is burning and that is not the big story. That I cannot hit the enemy destroyers maybe also typical. So shooting on a burning ship makes not much sense, but okay. Still no hit on the Voyager. Now I get a hit on the Voyager. Ship penetration, explosion, okay. Looks fine so far. But now we see this hit, explosion, magazine, ship is dead. So there's a 4.5 inch shell. This is more or less like 12 centimeter. Make penetration. Of course, destroyers don't have armor. Make an explosion. This explosion trigger a magazine fire, and this fire of the magazine blow up the whole destroyer. So I never had this before. I saw many times, not many times, but often I saw magazine fire and flooding of magazine to prevent explosion or something. But in this case, my destroyer crew was not able to flood the magazines fast enough. And I'm losing here one destroyer. It is a good fleet destroyer by a super lucky one. The one only hit this Voyager can do more or less in the whole battle. Now I can speed up.
Hello, all you poor GIs and Marines. This is Orphan Ann at Radio Tokyo, bringing you some hot music and another blow to your morale. Today, our High Command announced that the Imperial Navy has achieved another great victory near Port Moresby with the sinking of 2 carriers, a battleship, and numerous cruisers and destroyers.
So the home front will enjoy and celebrate this victory. And of course it happened like Tokyo Rose just told us. Total victory, no losses on my side. Now we open the next chapter. This is a second cruiser formation, a little smaller, was normally out for hunting of cargo, and I find here one AP, so no escort. This will be an easy picking, but no troops on board. But AP is destroyed. So my cruisers find both the not military equipment, the AO, the refuel task force, the AP, but the Dutch cruisers escaped the battle, and also the British battleships are still and maybe they already passed by, because they are now really north of Brisbane. End of the map or end of the turn, I can check the map. Maybe there's a possibility to intercept them, but unlikely. One, maybe really the last Buffalo in Singapore, still won battle with my zeros. But engine failure for the Buffalo, so no battle. My nail's coming again, trying to find a hit on this Dutch forces. Torpedo attacks. But the light cruisers is escaping. Again. Okay. At least one torpedo hit on the Java, with critical damage, and hit the engines. Yeah. So out of 23 torpedo attacks, only one really hit. Yeah, not the best ratio, but at least something. And every cruiser with a torpedo hit is now doomed, because the rest can do my heavy cruisers. They will latest next turn enter the hex and hunt them all down. Hopefully, if Nothing strange happened. Now we arrive at the Chinese bombardment. Many hits. This is still all open terrain, so more easy task for my army bombers to create damage. Here I was a little too slow to bring air cover to Palmbang. I not really expected that KilRoy uses Dutch army bombers to attack my landing forces in Palmbang. Not well, no, and he make damage. Let's say this. These are Dutch bombers coming in 5,000 feet, so not so bad anymore. And everyone hit a little. So more or less disabled. My Navy Guard unit is getting disabled. So this is my support carrier coming around. But I'm out of torpedoes, so I can only use bombs. Some deck penetration on Java. Again, only one hit. Yeah. I come here in 7,000 feet. This was maybe a little too high. But I want also avoid the flag damage. Normally I need only to slow down all the ships. The sinking I can let the cruisers do. The next Snell bombers. Yeah, so many torpedoes. Second torpedo hit, so Java is now really crippled. That is maybe enough to sink the ship. And this is also now Navy strikes. Simply I switch to let my Bettys run Navy missions now freely with some escort. This was the last Buffalo in the morning, had some engine failure, now I damage him, so return to base. In the port of Singapore is a cruiser mine layer, also a Dutch ship. Nothing important, but maybe KilRoy used this ship to mine the port before he's leaving, so double torpedo hit, but only one explosion. But this is enough to sink this ship. So let's go down, kill. Mission was a success, but one more kill for my records, but nothing what really matters. More jungle bombardment, again no success. Yeah, the Yubari was already for me a lost case. It was burning. This was the only ship I cannot get under control. So it's now official dead. But it's a light cruiser, one of this type of light cruisers with the lowest combat values, I would say. Maybe not the victory points, but combat value is really low. So more invasion, more unloading. My Japanese division tried to clean up and open the highway again, and it was successful. Some Chinese corps giving up, but nearly no casualties for me. 3 are running, 1 is destroyed, and they're escaping here northeast, and there's still at least 1 unit blocking the highway. So again, need 1 more turn to open the street. Bombardment on Clarkfield. And no impact. So really nothing. I only can see that I'm back now at my divisions arrived, so next turn I can attack and there's not more much to defend. Taking one of the last bases in Mindanao, no defense. Attack on C2 and again failed. Fort is down, or was already down. No, now it's down again. Maybe we built. And the American forces falling apart slowly. Borneo, all of the space forces running, and they're running again. And all of them are running. So now they're running from the coast away into the deep in the jungle, and this is too deep for me to waste here time. I was able to, I think, destroy most of the equipment, and there's maybe only 1 unit now disabled. Hard to say. Maybe more is disabled, but I don't believe there's much attack value left. Good, and this was my attack, of course, planned with full strength of my Navy Guard units, but the bombardment of the Dutch Air Force reduced all my attack value, so now I have attack value, but I cannot bring it on the map, so more units are disabled, so this is now for sure a failed attack. I must bring reinforcements inside, but I also know that Palmbang have no mines, so I can easily ship reinforcements inside without much fear. Good bombardment from the Americans in Cebu, nothing happened. At the end it was a not overall successful day for me. The biggest blow is the loss of my destroyer, that I will miss for sure. So air war 1, 2, 3, so that is nothing. This is all losses in China, operational losses, and KilRoy also had only a scout, Navy patrol, a seaplane lost, so operational losses, nothing really related to combat. This Buffalo from Singapore is damaged, returned to base but not destroyed. Ship sunk last turn, so far I can say, so no, not all days, last turn. So this is a Yubari, this is this light cruiser. It is, I mean, not a terrible bad ship, but it will never be more than a heavy destroyer. You can count it like a heavy destroyer, and this is all. And this is a real destroyer, and this is a 10-point fleet destroyer, so a 2,500 ton destroyer, first class, the best, or one of the best what the Japanese have and get. And they already have this better sub-hunter equipment, so you can already attack in deep water. Not that it will make much damage, but yeah. And you have here everything. You have firepower, you have anti-aircraft equipment, you have strong torpedoes, but one lucky hit immediately makes this chain reaction of a magazine explosion. So, super lucky for KilRoy. And the Allied ship sunk last turn was, if you believe it or not, so the AP, this was only one torpedo hit. I don't believe that this go down. The Java is maybe dead, but I hear also no sinking sound. Then we have the AO. This is the AO, my cruiser sunk. The AP, also my cruiser sunk. The Voyager sunk after blowing up my destroyer. And this is this cruiser mine layer in Singapore. So the first ship, the AP, the wake field is unlikely. It's damaged, but not sunk, not this turn. Good. So in China, this one battle not really changed much of the situation. I was able to win the battle, but I was not able to free the hex, so still need one more turn to open this highway to get supplies in. Because just now this highway is blocked and this rail and this street connection is also blocked, so there is no supply flow from my main bases to my forces in Nanyang. Or at least, yeah, hindered and crippled. In central of China is also all forces are moving. We had no battle, and I have to open this highway again. And yeah, this highway is maybe just open. Yeah, I can bring in supplies. Yeah, but here is still one block unit. So you can see here's still too many Chinese forces to really keep it easy in China. Burma, we had no activity again. We had no activity in Malaya. I'm still moving on Singapore. Maybe next turn I arrive and can cross the river or invade the island. It's normally not a river, but island. So yeah, next turn I will make the combat attack and crossing. Palmbang, it was an attempt to take the base quickly. Now I know it's not so easy. My forces are now, let's say, mostly disabled. And at least this one is half disabled, half destroyed. The other one is in better shape, but both are disrupted and fatigued. Will be not enough to take over the base. But okay. The landing was a success at the end. No mines, nothing waiting here for me. So I have here still more Navy Guard units I can bring out of Mersing. If the hex. So I have here 2-3 more Navy Guard units. Navy Guard units are not really the best for fighting enemy army units, but with space forces and second line equipment, I think this is their purpose. And amphibious hold. So I will transfer them in the next 2-3 turns, and maybe the beginning of the next month I can attack on Palmbang again. This cleanup operation was in Borneo. I clean up the coast. There's no way that they can escape, but they are now deep in the jungle, so I really don't know if I want to do anything here. Maybe I let them simply stay here. No activity here, no activity here. The Battle of Cebu, part 3 was again no complete success, but yeah, sooner or later. And in Mindanao, there's really nothing left. I take maybe next turn this base, and then there's no base left on Mindanao Island where the Americans can escape already. And I'm catching up here, so it's a question of 2-3 turns maybe that before I can finish all resistance in Mindanao. This means I will be faster to finish my operations in Mindanao. In Luzon still needs more time. In the Jochen game it was the opposite. I was done in Luzon and then I had to change to Mindanao. So the balance of power is in this match better, I would say. I can nearly equally fast finish maybe both operations if I can create the victory in Clarkfield. Once Clarkfield fall, Patan is only a question of time. So I had no detection of any carrier force. I was always checking here and was worrying if anything arrived here, but my scouts finding nothing. My subs also detect nothing. Here was this engagement with my cruisers. The cargo had a engine burns. This is I think related to because there's no real damage and I used full speed and there's always a risk that you have engine damage, so I think this happens here now, that because I use full speed these cruisers have simply engine failure. So sooner or later, it's not heavy damage, it's only light. I can repair it in Rabul, no big issue, but sooner or later I must bring it back. And you can see that the speed drops from 31 or to 25, so I lost 1 or 2 knots. But it's still enough to finish off this Dutch light cruisers. They are out of shells, now they have no fuel to return, so I think they are all out of fuel. And maybe KilRoy already saw this coming, so he don't even try to escape and simply try to do as much damage he can do. And now it's a question only to die. My carriers, I just move here around. I was hoping to find here last turn more in Cooktown, but no. So I tried more or less use my light cruisers to block the escape way to Cooktown and go with my cruisers in and battle it out. Here are the British battleships. We miss each other just with my heavy cruiser, so I find the AP but not the battleships. And I only confident, but I would only say it makes sense to attack the battleships now because I know they are out of shells. There's no heavy shells left, or at least only maximum 2 shells. So that my heavy cruisers can maybe not sink the battleships, but they can damage them. If I can even create some torpedo hits, this would be more seriously. And then I have here still my submarines lurking in the water, hoping to get a hit before the ships arrive Brisbane or even Sydney. Then they are out of reach for all of my ships. Good, nothing more here. So my task was is after I took these 2 bases, I left only take the bases. Now I'm on the way to Luganville. And here I will soon also go and pick up Shortlands and then Tulagi to take all of these islands quickly, and then maybe if I still have the opportunity to maybe rush for New Caledonian, why not? Good, thank you all, see you next time, bye bye.